Hey guys, welcome. In this video we're going to learn how to use LINQ with XML. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language, so it's a way of structuring data. Okay, so crank up a project as before, and the first thing that we are going to do is add an XML file. So you can do this by right-clicking, and then go to Add, and then New Item. And as you can see in this list here, there's a whole bunch of things. So just search for it until you find an XML file. Okay, so here, XML file. Give it some name such as Sam, that'll do for our purposes. Click Add. Now I already have one, so we don't pretend that I'm adding one. Alright, so once you have a SEMP XML file, it will be here. First we will build the XML. So the way to do that is as follows. We're going to type users like this, okay? You're going to say desktop users like this. There you go. Now you're going to specify a user and then the full name of this particular user. So say John Smith. Okay, and then close that. Now here you can just put a slash there and get rid of the closing tag on the user. Let's make another user. So user, and then again full name for that user will be say Mary Smith. Put a slash and close it. Okay, so now we've built a bit of a structure to our data. You have users. Within the users we have desktop users, and then within the desktop users we have two people, John Smith and Mary Smith. Alright, so close that. Now, save it so far. Same.xml looks like that. Now what we're going to do is query this file with C# and LINQ. So the way to do that is as follows. You're going to type. Make sure you're inside program.cs. We're going to type using and then system, and then using system.collections.generic, and then we're going to say you're using system.link, and then using system.xml.link. Alright, so those are our namespaces. Now let's define our own. So namespace sample, open close braces. Let me delete this now. We have to make a class, of course, so class program, and then static void main, open close braces. Now what you're going to do is type x element, okay, so user file. Now you're going to load that by typing x element dot load, and then you're going to put that symbol. Alright, then you're going to say here C, and then that. Okay, and then XML files and a slash, and then sam.xml, close out a semicolon. So here, when you open this file, right, if you hover your mouse over it, it tells you what the path is. Okay, on sam.xml, you see it tells you the path. So if you click here, save. Okay. Or if you need to, of course, right click properties, and it tells you, see, this is where mine is full path, so C colon XML file slash sam.xml, like that. Okay, so make sure yours is saved in a location that you can identify easily. Alright, so that's done that way. Okay, so that's why I have XML element.load and then the path is specified. So now what we're going to do is reach into it. So you're going to say IEnumerable with a string. So this is an interface, a generic interface. Okay, so we're making an object into an enumerable object. In other words, an object that you can go through and list elements of. Now you're going to say here desktop user, and then you'll say here from each user in user file dot descendants, like this. Okay, and then specify that as user. So if you go back to sam.xml, see this user is a descendant of, okay, it's nested within desktop users and then users. Alright, so you're going to type the following. You'll say here, and as you can see, all I can do is give you a fairly small example. In real life, there's a lot to this. It'll be a whole separate course perhaps. select, and then you're going to convert to a string, and then you will say here each user dot attribute, and then the attribute to be selected is full name, and close that with a semicolon. Okay, there you go. So from each user in user file that descendants, meaning right here, and those, you're going to select the full name attribute, which is this right here. That's the attribute. Okay, that's what you're going to grab. All right, now then we will go through it. So for each string name in desktop user, we're going to say console.writeLine, and the name is, put a placeholder as usual, period, and then the name, close with a semicolon, and now console.read key, close with a semicolon. There you go. So delete this. Okay, so there's our C# with our using statements up top. Let's give this all a build, make sure it takes. Alright, hit start. And it says the name is John Smith, the name is Mary Smith, so this confirms it's working as expected. Okay, and if you go to debug and step into here, let's see whether we get some insight. So make that. Run that, and now if you hover your mouse over desktop user, expand that. There you go. So results view, John Smith at 0 and Mary Smith at 1. Those are indexes again. Okay, there you go. And this is IEnumerable. So remember, that's an interface, and it's a generic one that operates on strings, as you can see here. And I've shown you in the previous lesson, an example, but now you see it in action with XML. Let's close that, and that is it. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in another video.